Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mexican Grand Prix for PRL Season 9. Now, of course, we had pole position in Bahrain and in the USA. Could this be our third of the season? It would be second in a row, of course. That won't help, completely missing the apex of turn 1. However, that was quite nice. With the rest of the complex there, I'll open the DRS and head towards the next complex of corners. Danny off to my right there. Currently in P2, it would be another front row lockout if we can maintain that following last week's success, where of course she went on to win the race. Now through here we can see our delta is still a bit red, but through this next section of sweepers you can see a big gain in time. Was really quite beautiful. The transition we had between all these sweepers, right on the apexes, and beautiful, big gains. Sector split there is purple, and now through the stadium section we come a bit to the left of the apex there. Won't matter too much though. And final few turns. Love this section of the track. One of my favourite tracks, I would say, actually. Great to battle at too, but across the line we're going to come, and it is pole position.
Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
Now Danny was on another lap and she would cross the line. Going to improve. She needs to beat Craig. And she did it. Another front row lockout, 1/10, separating us once again, just like last week. But this week, positions 4 and 5 were actually on top of each other. Now, they actually took the same time in qualifying, so that may have contributed to this glitch. But of course, that's not going to be ideal for their starts. So it might be grounds for a restart. We'll see what happens here. In fact, as the lights go out, several cars were given a jump start. There was some sort of extra glitch on top of it, so as we head to turn 1, it was being discussed whether there were grounds for a restart, and by the time we completed lap 1, it was indeed decided to restart with a custom grid such that the qualifying order would remain the same. So here we are once again, the restart, same grid order. In fact, we've actually got 3 extra people in the lobby, thankfully. They're all at the back though, and off we go. Now this is probably not the best track to be on the front row, honestly. Big rub down to turn 1, and you'll see Craig pop into the slipstream and out in need of Danny, and potentially take her around the outside. She's got a car on her inside as well, really not in a good place. We went really deep just in case anyone outbraked themselves. Now it looks like we might be safe in P1, but Danny has been overtaken by 2 cars for P2 and 3. Now we had the fastest lap, trying to escape. Dregler was anyone who went with us, and he pitted for the undercut. I went in the next lap to cover him. However, he would overtake us. The undercut too strong here, and thankfully for us, Craig didn't get by as well.
Our gap to our teammate is 8.0 seconds.
Now Dregler wasn't actually very fast compared to the previous stint where he was catching me towards the end of it. It seemed on the softs I had a bit of a pace advantage down the inside of turn 1, and remained on his right through the rest of the complex, though he would get a good exit. I had the DRS to defend my position, but it wasn't quite enough to hold him back. Now of course, beating him here, or even losing less than 10 points, would mean I'm champion. So this is quite a significant battle, and that contact there forces us wide, and he probably will maintain the position as a result. And yes, he has through the double right. Nothing I could really do there. So the battle continues. Another helping of DRS would put us down the inside into turn 1. Very similar to the previous lap. He's still on our left. We sweep around the outside of turn 2. This time I thought I would leave some exit space on the left. However, it looks like he may have run into the back of us and sustained some wing damage. I'm not sure if that was where it occurred, but he definitely did sustain damage at some point, I think, on this lap. As you can see, starting to drop back. You'll see bigger evidence of it through this next sector, because the sweepers obviously is where it kills you to have damage to your front wing. So I'm sorry about that. It did of course ruin the battle, but these things happen. It wasn't a brake test or anything, it was purely leaving some space, and I had parked it on the apex. Anyway, the confetti flies for race and championship victory. Dregler would maintain second to his credit despite having that damage, and it would be Tortoise actually recording a podium in P3, as Bozza would have penalties. Danny had a collision earlier in the race due to lag. She would recover to P4 though. once again 12 points for my teammate, and the championship flick occurred. The confetti still flies, and we have championship number 25. Really happy with that. Next week we'll be Interlagos. I hope to have a similar success. I've been Jacko. See you in Brazil.